FFIE may be facing a short-term retracement followed by a recovery. Let's go ahead and go over those details now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this fine Sunday. This is ARCa coming at you with an FFIE technicals and raw price action threat of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, so yeah, we're looking at FFIE on the 4-hour chart, and we're going to start off the immediate short-term time frame analysis with the ARC-Series Crypstex indicators. Okay, so these are indicators that have actually been provided to me by a team called Crypstex. So they've essentially endorsed me since they believe in my trading style, and I've actually forward tested some of these indicators, and they actually work very well. Okay, so we are looking at the first one over here, which is called ARC-Armor. Okay, so Armor is an indicator comprised of several exponential moving averages, all of them placed together algorithmically within the price action, so that we can gain this type of wave of motion, or directional waves, if you will. Okay, so among those waves, we actually do get buy and sell signals, which is very cool. Okay, so you can actually see that we did get we got a long signal over here, it went up. We got a short signal over here, it went all the way down there. We've now printed a new long signal, and we have since haven't printed a short one. Okay, so we're still suggesting an upside continuation, particular to the 4-hour though. Okay, so we're looking at the 4-hour chart here, but I am expecting what could potentially be a short-term retracement into this zone here before a continuation to the way up. Okay, so let's go ahead and validate that. Okay, so because right now we are in the process of a true breakout of the broadening descending wedge. Okay, so now another validation to the upside could actually be found with with the ARC enhanced MACD, which is another one of those indicators within the Crypstex series. Okay, so you can see that on the 4-hour chart, the enhanced MACD was slightly more aggressive, suggesting that buy signal, slightly before the ARC-Armor did. So very cool. ARC-Armor was maybe a little more conservative and suggested that upside continuation. Okay, so very interesting stuff right here. Let's just go ahead and block out the visibility of Armor and load up DBSI. Okay, so ARC-DBSI is a statistical indicator that takes note in a metric of every single candle iteration throughout the entire trading history of the asset's particular time frame, in this case the 4-hour chart. Okay, so every single candle has been taken into account by this indicator and is now giving us a strength value. Okay, so that strength value is represented by, let me just go ahead and make sure that I don't have a, okay, yeah, so the strength value is actually represented by a percentage right up here. So as you can see on the 4-hour, now the bulls are now finally taking the court with a 54% lead over the bears at 46%. Okay, so definitely very interesting stuff. Okay, so now ARC-Armor was very, very conservative, and it has printed a signal very much later than DBSI has printed a signal very much later than Armor and enhanced MACD. Okay, so we definitely have different strength values. Okay, so very good stuff here. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, as there are actually there's something very interesting here that I need to touch on with all of you. Okay, so this could be a very rare breakout that doesn't happen too often whatsoever. Okay, so now, this essentially will give us that range of support before that continuation to the upside. Okay, so I'm going to give us from the range high of these candles right over here, right, and this one right over here. So all of them printed on the 12th, and some of them on the 11th of January. Okay, so I'm going to give us a range of support. Okay, so meaning the area that we can find before a bounce. Okay, so this is essentially the area that I'm looking at for us to find some support before a bounce to the upside. Okay, so that would be about 46.97, so just about 47 cents, to about 48.92, so just about 49 cents. Okay, so very likely we can actually come back down here and continue to the upside. Okay, so now why am I suggesting this? Okay, so first of all, this is a broadening ascending wedge, which is usually bearish, And the take profit for this particular formation is usually found at the genesis of the formation down here. Okay, so that would be about 28.59. I'm not suggesting that we're going there. In fact, I actually think that this is a rare breakout to the upside. Okay, now what's making me feel that is because we have test number 1 of the resistance, 2 of the resistance, we have test number 3 of the resistance, we failed it, we reclaimed it again, test number 4, and now we're on test number 5. Okay, so this is like the short sellers cannot actually survive this for some reason. Okay, so we're actually now going to come back and find the support, which is usually located at that 3rd or 4th wave for a breakout to the upside particular to this formation. Okay, so in the rare events when we do break out to the upside, we find support from the 3rd or 4th wave, which is literally right here, before a continuation to the way up. Okay, so this is also falling in line with the broadening descending wedge in a larger scale. So let's just go ahead and load up the daily chart here now. Okay, so in the daily chart, we can now see that broadening descending wedge, and we can see that we're very much going to that true breakout test number 4 after 3 tests of the golden rule of 3, okay, which is usually that test number 1, 2, 3 of the resistance, particular to a broadening descending wedge, okay, followed by a capitulation event or a reaccumulation period. Then we start that upside thrust to get that true breakout upon test number 4. We'll test a relevant high area here, which could be, I mean, honestly, it could be anywhere between about the 62 cent area to about the 73 cent area, followed by a resistance touch, and then we would retrace back to test our current highs, which are very much in confluence with the newly converted, with what would then be the newly converted resistance into then a support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so now please remember that per the playbook rules, I'm talking about the playbook rules. Okay, nothing like I'm saying that we're gonna go there like by law. Okay, so usually the take profit zone for longs, particular to this descending broadening wedge, is found at the genesis of the formation. Okay, so inversely to the broadening ascending wedge, the broadening descending wedge actually has that take profit at the top. So it would be essentially about $1.22. Okay, so very interesting stuff over here. Okay, so there is a suggestion towards the way up, but please remember that I am talking about a small retracement for reaccumulation, particular to the areas of about, remember, I spoke about 46.87 to about that 41.93. Okay, so there are actually several areas. That's particular. Okay, yeah. So that's particular to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so if we're trading the 4-hour, 46.77 to about 41.93. But if we're trading the hourly chart, so that would actually suggest this zone here. So that would be 46.95 to about 48.72. Okay, slightly different stuff. Okay, you guys. So yeah, now let's go ahead and move on to the last part of the analysis, which would essentially be the RSI. Okay, so let's go ahead and just open up this diagram here, as I would like for you guys to actually take a gander at these 4 zones, as they are located right over here on the live chart, several iterations of it. Okay, so we're going to start it off just like we always do. The 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is suggesting a continuation to the downside, which is very much in accordance to what we're talking about. Okay, so please remember it's the 30-minute, and this is likely to live out pretty fast. Even the 15-minute is suggesting that downside. Okay, so this is, remember, just likely to live out fast. The purple line represents RSI signal, and the 14-day simple moving average is this pink line. Okay, so we've already crossed below it, which is usually bearish, and now we're at the border between the between the bull weakness percentile and the bull strength. Okay, usually means that the continuation to the downside is imminent. Okay, so now the bi-hourly time frame is suggesting a continuation to the downside as well. Okay, so now approaching that gravitational zone of the overbought percentile, which usually would mean that we're going to face that downside continuation. But please please notice that we do have that 14-day simple moving average that could potentially pose a short-term pullback followed by a bounce to the upside, as we have been using this moving average as a form of support and or a guide to the upside. Okay, we actually fell below it just right over here in this iteration on January 12th, and then now we've actually broken out on top of it, and we could be retracing to find some type of support before a continuation to the upside. Okay, so now the 6 hour is suggesting a very slight, very weak downside continuation, but please mind the position of your RSI. Okay, the signal is landing right at that deep area of the bull strength percentile, which usually means a type of magnetic pull right back into that following zone, okay, which would be the overbought percentile. So this is still looking bullish. 14-day simple moving average still suggesting that upside. And now finally, let's go ahead and move on to where I do see the upside continuation, and what validates essentially that short-term pullback followed by a continuation to the upside, essentially breaking out of that very rare ascending channel. Okay, so the ascending broadening wedge, sorry. So you can see here that the daily is suggesting that upside continuation. Very good stuff. Let's go to the buy daily. Buy daily still suggesting that upside. Very good stuff. Okay, 3-day suggesting upside as well. And 5-day is also suggesting an upside. Okay, so if we're piecing all of the puzzle pieces together, yes, we can see that immediate short-term downside, which could be an accumulation period, right? And then we can actually face that bounce, okay? And then find some resistance within that area that I spoke of between the 2 spot 618 at about 73.53 to about the 62.07 area at the 1 spot 618, followed by a retracement, slight retracement to confirm our newly converted resistance into support before continuing on to the upside, eventually reaching our top side targets, okay? So, which could be anywhere between 96 cents to about $1.22 or $1.23. All right, you guys, so this is going to be a multi-day upside, but it's going to be choppy, right? But nonetheless, it's still going to be a multi-day upside, okay? So this is prepping for a very important breakout on that test number 4 and considered to be the true breakout test number 4. All right, you guys, so please know I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I can't suggest for you to buy or sell any assets, okay? I need you to do your own DD and everything would be just fine, okay, you guys? So I know, please don't fall for any of the scams in the comments. I don't have a WhatsApp. I would certainly not provide my contact information in a comment like that, and I will also not initiate a conversation with you first. Okay, you guys, don't fall for those traps, as they just want your cash, okay? So if you feel compelled to reach out to me, please refer to the links in the description below, as there are the Discord there, the Twitter. You can actually find a TradingView affiliate link there as well if you want to trade alongside me the way I'm doing, right? So please, as that would actually help me out greatly in my trading future, okay? Another thing to notice is that if you are interested in the Crypstex indicators, please go ahead and send me a DM and we'll go ahead and go over the subscription packages for these indicators, okay? But please also know that the indicators are their own subscription package, because Crypstex are authors within the TradingView space, okay? So TradingView has their own subscriptions that offer access to their software, okay? So now if you want to get the indicators as well, so then you would actually have to go through me and I will give you that information, okay, you guys? So with that said, I wish you well. I wish you a very good night and the rest of your long weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Tuesday. Adios.